Ruru was a deer. Her beautiful body molded in the color of gold. It was beautiful with the brilliance of ruby, sapphire, and emerald. Her silky hair as soft as velvet, sky blue eyes, and her hooves and horns carved with crystal were easily captivating. That's why whenever he played quadrants in the forest, everyone who saw him would sigh. Obviously, Ruru was not an ordinary deer. Her unique beauty was her speciality. But his greater specialty was that he was rational and was also capable of talking like a human being. He knew from the rituals of his previous birth that man is naturally a greedy creature, and due to greed, he has been resisting even human compassion. Yet his compassion for all creatures was strong, and man was no exception to his compassion. This compassion was the biggest specialty of Ruru. One day when Ruru was roaming freely in the forest, he heard a human scream. When he followed the incident and reached the spot, he found a man floating in the stream of the mountain river there. Ruru's compassion blossomed naturally. He immediately jumped into the water and advised the drowning man to hold his feet. The drowning man, in his panic, did not hold Ruru's legs and rode on top of her. The delicate Ruru could have yanked it away, but he did not do so. But despite many difficulties, he carried that person on his back and brought him to the shore with great patience and morale. When the safe man wanted to thank Ruru, Ruru said to him, "If you really want to thank me, then don't tell anyone that you have been brought back to life by a deer that is a special golden deer, because when the people of your world learn of my existence, they will undoubtedly want to hunt me." Thus bidding farewell to that man, Ruru again went to his residence. After time, the queen of that kingdom had a dream. He saw Ruru in person in his dream. Charmed by Ruru's beauty and his strong desire to possess every beautiful thing strengthened his desire to keep Ruru with him. Immediately, he requested the king to find Ruru and bring him back. The king, intoxicated with power, could not refuse his request. He announced in the city that whoever would help in finding the deer imagined by the queen, he would be rewarded with a village and 10 beautiful girls. The sound of the king's trumpet was also heard by the man whom Ruru had saved. That person knew the place of residence of Ruru. Without wasting a moment, he ran to the king's court. Then, panting, he spilled all the secrets of Ruru in front of the king. The king and his soldiers immediately reached that forest with that person and surrounded Ruru's residence from all sides. There was no limit to his happiness when he found Ruru exactly as per the image given by the queen. The king then swung his bow and Ruru was right on target. Surrounded from all sides, Ruru then said to the king in human language, "King, you kill me, but before that tell me, how did you know my whereabouts?" In reply, the king turned his arrow and stopped it in front of the person whose life Ruru had saved. Then the sentence suddenly came out of Ruru's mouth. "Take out the wooden log from the water. Never take out an ungrateful person." When the king asked Ruru the meaning of his conversation, Ruru told the king the entire story of the man's drowning and rescue. Ruru's compassion had awakened the king's compassion also. He also felt angry at that person's ingratitude. When the king tried to kill that person with the same arrow, the compassionate deer requested him not to kill that person. Impressed by Ruru's talents, the king invited him to come with him to his kingdom. Ruru did not reject the king's kindness, and after accepting the king's hospitality for a few days, he returned to his residence. Lesson: before helping the enemy, we should think about the consequences.